Happy Tears Day. Let's talk about my life with Hagalaz this week. So the Runic Journey continues, and it's time to reflect on my week with Hagalaz. Couple of interesting convergences, if you like. Obviously, Wimbledon has started this week, which means rain has come. Obviously, we've already been getting rain since connecting to Hagalaz, hail. Whether they're coincidences or not, you decide. It's just one of those things that I don't know, maybe you get drawn attention to as things that occur. It's been a very interesting week, really. I mean, it's really Saturday was the real convergence point when I attended a spiritual gathering led by Andreas Kornevall, author of Waking the Dragons, this book here. And it was a very interesting day, doing ritual and meditations, and it was really the first spiritual time I could spend with a new piece of jewellery that was dedicated to Frigg. Very important to me. So I want to go through some of the things I experienced at the meeting in a lovely part of the countryside. We did a couple of meditations. It was like a practice meditation that we did sort of with Andreas beating a drum and sort of guiding us through to begin with. Then we had some lunch, and then we went off to do a 45-minute isolated meditation. And then we kind of wrapped up and went home, which the journey home was not a pleasant experience. But I don't want to focus on negatives. I want to talk about the positives. So, we were talking about Gaudralag and how to construct them, and that was one of the purposes, and talking about finding runes in trees, which was quite fascinating. I suppose I'm kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit. We did our first meditation, so that was us in a gathered circle. It was quite a casual thing. It was just, I suppose, getting our minds into the right headspace. And the interesting thing was Andreas asked us to picture a rune as we was going into the meditation, which was something that for me was relatively familiar, because that's how I work with runes. Obviously, if you watch my channel, you know I don't use physical representations of the runes. I connect to them. I'll make your own decision about that. So, doing the 5-10 minute ritual, the rune I saw was Sawalo, and then an image followed as we was being guided. A dark-haired woman with a white cloth blindfold, looking up almost like a reflection, or could have been a reflection. Now, have I put more thought into that at the moment? To some degree. I'm still thinking about it, but it was just that was the group meditation, and some of the other people there shared some of their details, and that was cool, listening to how people have their experiences and share them. I don't want to go into things too much. We had our lunch. It was quite nice and pleasant, and then we went off to do our 45-minute meditation, Utiseta practice. And the idea was to sort of see if we could see runes in the tree that we chose to work with, what images we connected to, and if we could create a Galdralag, and if we could even find sort of sounds to go with it. This was again something that seemed to come relatively quickly. My image was, I saw a monkey or a primate, an ape in the tree, as though it was looking down on me, I suppose, as a additional bit of information to break down at some point. And did I create a Galdralag? Yes, I did. I'm going to read it to you now. And there are some words I put in there deliberately, because I felt like this connects to the tale of Ask and Embla. So, Ape asks, agile acrobat alive, moves through the tree. Wisdom wanders widely weaving. Between earth and sky breathes. Between earth and sky believes. I have some sketched images. I'm going to just share them here. Because Andreas encouraged us to try and take symbols from the trees that could be runic symbols, not necessarily Elder Futhark either, but they could also be giving you new runes or runes of their own, or think of it almost like the trees having their own language, or how a story is told through the evidence of the tree having grown and its sort of physical shape. Some really interesting ideas that allow you to explore away from the standard sets of runes. I mean, I'm not talking just about Elder Futhark, there's obviously the younger and etc. And this is something that's really reinforced by sort of some of the ideas that are evident or related in the Havamal. I say, toyed with the idea of sounds being drawn from the tree, which I kind of got, but I'm not gonna shred your ears with noises. Did see, again, I don't want to say that it was or is seeing Odin in the tree. It's, a one-eyed face. I'm cautious about not wanting to be seeing the things I want to see, and trying to express or pick up on the things that are outside of my conscious or subconscious and listen to the messages I'm receiving. So the time passed by, and then just before Andreas sounded his horn to summon us back to the camp, I did pick up another message, and this was that the trees are sleeping. They do not talk to each other like they once did. I've been thinking about that, and sort of maybe there's some ways to sort of take on board what that means. Say my first thought was they don't talk to each other anymore, but it's not that they don't talk to each other like they once did, and what that could mean. I mean, I've shared all this with Andreas because I didn't get a chance to share these things when we reconvened. There were some other people that expressed or shared their details, and we only had limited time, and I guess to some extent I was still kind of wanting to process these thoughts and feelings for myself before I felt comfortable sharing them. So there was a lot to take on board, really. However, it was a wonderful experience, and seeing some practice that you wouldn't, or I wouldn't probably have associated with someone following this path. So all in all, it was a good day, and a good, should say, very much there was medicine created, and Andreas had sort of said when anything powerful was said or felt that we would hail the gods, and that's the other thing that's just to note as a connection to Hagalaz, because obviously its translation is hail, and there was much a hailing to the gods, or the gods and the goddesses. So all in all, a very good day, a very good experience this week, I feel, with the rune Hagalaz, and obviously tomorrow I will be disconnecting from it and connecting to the next rune, which, as I'm following them in an order, it's not going to be a surprise, but tomorrow what I'll do is discuss that rune and its different rune poems as are recorded and translated. I recommend highly reading Waking the Dragons by Andreas Kornevall. It's a fascinating book with a lot of insight and encouraging ways of thinking, and not just in the standard ways. It's like exploratory thinking. The ideas that, when I first read the book, having been given it as a birthday present, I'm gonna say I read through it pretty quickly. It's a great book, and yeah, if you get the chance, read it. Whew. That's my waffle. That's the waffling done. It's been a good week, so I will see you tomorrow. Do take care. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.